Matt, he had someone murdered. He might.
Oh, you're gonna come murder.
You gonna kill me in my sleep?
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No.
Well, welcome back. It's been a few weeks. Normally it's a few weeks anyway, a couple, but it's been a few more than a couple, so I apologize. We're back. My wife is not here. She is in Kentucky, and you don't need to know any more than that. But I have a special guest. I don't know how to describe him. He's been one of my closest friends for a long time. He's my best man in my wedding, roommate, coworker, all around good guy.
Kind of there.
Matthew Hennedy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Matt is also, if you've heard me talk about my whiskey guru, that's him. So tonight we're going to be doing a flight, a blind flight. It's blind for me.
Not for me.
You know what they are. I'm going to try and guess some things about them.
The theme is find the Weller CYPB.
Okay, so there's a Weller CYPB in here somewhere.
Yes,
And
one of these.
it's my job to find it,
Yes.
which I think I'll probably fail at for a few different reasons, which we'll talk about later. If you don't care about whiskey at all, that's fine. I understand. This is a fitness podcast. So I will give you a little number in the description where you can just skip this whole thing and skip to the part you're interested in, which would be fitness content.
45 minutes later.
It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while if we get there. So all of my whiskey fans, stay with me. My fitness people, just, fast forward. Fast forward.
Skip.
Scrub. Skip.
There's a lot of words you could use.
We don't really use fast forward anymore. It feels like
It's like a VHS thing.
VHS thing, yeah.
Your
Like
dog's
my
thing.
daughter's not going to understand that. Anyway, we've gotten some exceptional bottles lately,
Yes,
and we've done some incredible
for us.
For us, yeah. And stop it, Cooper. My dog keeps licking me. And so I should say this. I used to just drink whiskey to drink some alcohol, and really didn't really care that much about the flavor.
Yeah, like you weren't drinking to get drunk.
Yeah.
But you were drinking something that you like. I like the flavor. There's less calories than a cocktail. I'll just drink
it's
this.
manly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happened for a while, and then Matt got really into bourbon. You've kind of been into it for a while. And then I think in the past year, probably, he was just setting up, like having me drink one bourbon next to another and just compare them, which I had never done before. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to tell a difference between bourbons. Can you really tell the difference? And it turns out that you can. And I'm like slowly on this journey figuring out like what profiles I like, what kind of whiskey I like. And the mash bill and all that stuff, I've learned so much. And so I'm excited to do a little flight live. Well, not live, pre-recorded, but
Close enough.
this is live, happening live now.
You can premiere it on YouTube.
I'm going to premiere this one.
So you can have
premiere
live
it.
chat.
We should.
You can be in there talking to them.
Okay, I'll premiere it, and then we'll jump on the chat and see if
Answer
anyone
any-
watches it.
Any questions? Maybe the two people that are watching it live.
Yeah, if you're watching this live from the YouTube premiere, just let me know in the chat, and we'll be there. I'll be there. Okay. Do we want to just jump into it?
Yeah. So I guess you'd probably want to know, especially if you don't know what Weller CYPB is. It is their craft your perfect bourbon. It's an online thing they did, like Buffalo Trace, quite a while ago, I think.
Yeah.
It's 95 proof, 8 years old, and it has a white label. You'll probably see it on the screen, but the bottle's not up
yeah,
here.
we'll show a shot of it. Yeah, and it's what it's highly sought after.
It's a $50 bottle.
All right,
Let's be
retail.
completely clear about that, because that is what your expectation should be for this bourbon in from a taste perspective.
Right, but on the secondary market,
But on
it's
the
selling
secondary
for like
market,
$600
it's like
or something.
$600, Ford at like $800.
Okay, so
on
this
where
is
you're
a
buying
big deal.
from.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a fun bottle to have.
sure.
But
And I don't think I've ever had it, or maybe I had it one time. I
think we were at a bar one time and we're gonna get it, but then they didn't have that, so we got the
yeah.
Weller full.
Okay, so I haven't had it.
So I don't think either of us have had it.
Okay, well we're gonna find out. Let's just run through it. I tell me if I'm doing it wrong, but I always
Just start from A.
I
go
always
through D.
just nose it up. I go run through and nose all of them.
I'll go the opposite way just for time's sake.
Okay. You got to spin it. You got to spin it and open it up. Right?
I would say that
Let it breathe.
you're not actually doing much in terms of. Well, no. Here's it. It is. It's weird, but it's true. You're not opening up the whiskey. It's not like, I don't really know much about wine, but you always see people swirling that.
Yeah.
I think that actually might be doing something to the wine.
Yeah.
This is more to coat the Glencairn.
Oh, just so you're not getting like some soapy.
Yeah, you don't want
or
any like
some
soapy
residue
smell, or even
smell.
just like whatever this like minerality that
Sure.
your water has. It's gonna have like some of that smell. Once you get the sides kind of covered, then you're gonna smell the whiskey more.
I should say this. My nose is pretty effed up. I've had COVID like a dozen times or something. I think I was the first person in the United States to have it.
You were patient zero.
I was patient zero. I'm convinced. I was like, I lost my smell.
You did.
For like 3 weeks.
You
And-
gave it to me. You came back from
And
Brazil.
this was before COVID was.
This was before everyone
live.
knew that it was like in
Yeah.
the U.S.
And
to like
but-
any degree.
but
It was
I had
like
been in-
maybe 15 cases in California. We were in California at the time, so
Right, could've been.
maybe you were one of the 15.
It could have been me. Well, I was in Brazil first.
Yeah, you
and
came
I
back.
think I got it
You
there.
were out of the office for a couple days. You come back and you said, "Oh man, it was the weirdest thing. I've been so sick and I don't have any taste or smell."
Yeah,
I
which
said,
is
that's bizarre. I've never heard of anyone getting sick like that.
yeah.
Flash forward.
Especially our
months.
age. That was years ago now, and we were younger.
Yeah.
Young men.
It's such a young, just innocent men.
So I said all that to say, I can't smell shit, and I have to really work to smell things, and of course that's going to affect my taste, partially. I can taste things, but I find that I can get the proof points to usually pretty close, because that doesn't require my nose. I'm also using it as an excuse in case I, guess wrong or something.
No,
I'm too nervous now because
I think there's a big difference between being able to like have 4 bourbons next to each other and be like, oh, like these all taste different and I can tell the differences between them and I like this one more than that one.
Yeah.
It's a completely different skill to be able to actually specifically say what bottle you think it is, or even if you get the distillery right.
Yeah.
It's a pretty like impressive thing to get to. And I'm far from that still.
Yeah, it's crazy that people can do that, though. I think I need a sip before I run through smells again. 'Cause
Yeah,
I can't really smell anything. So I'm going to start with A. Oh, man.
What do you get it on A?
That could be it. I feel like it's like 95, 100 proof. It's got a long finish, like a pretty complex finish, like not a ton on the tongue, but like going down, you're getting some more flavors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what it is. So I feel like I can't say too much. I'm getting like some caramel. Nothing too like crazy to me. I'm not like
I can't smell anything.
I'm in love with this, but I'm also not like I don't want to drink that. It's kind of like a nice solid daily drinker, I'd say.
I didn't get much on the nose. I feel like it's like lower in proof. It has to be like 90, or that's I'm underestimating A in proof, but it's got.
I will say I tried to keep proof points not varied too much because I don't want to give you some like
sure
120 proof.
Yeah,
like,
when we're trying to find the
barrel
good,
strength,
the
when you're
good
trying
95.
to find something that's not
Right. Yeah.
that
Don't.
high and
Yeah.
it's
Just
obvious
sizzle my
that it's not.
my
Yeah.
taste buds off. Okay. I'm like, because I know some of the bottles that you have,
Mhm.
and I shouldn't take guesses. Probably this feels like a. This feels like a Buffalo Trace. I know you have a store pick, so it could be. I'm thinking of all the like lower proof, like decent bourbons.
Oh.
Hey Cooper.
You see me jump.
No. There's quite a few like lower proof.
Yeah, I probably have
Like
I would say 20 bottles at least that are like 105 proof or lower.
Yeah.
So like you're not able to narrow it down too much, just for everyone
Yeah.
that's watching. You're not able to narrow it down too much just based solely on
I'm going to see.
knowing how many bottles I have or knowing what bottles I
I have
have.
a lot of bottles.
And honestly, there's been times you've poured me something from my bar and I've forgotten I had that bottle, and that's why I didn't even think to guess that one.
Right.
Like there's been times I've been on the right track. I'm like, oh, like this feels like a high rye bourbon, but I don't know what I have that matches that. And then you tell me, I said, oh, I'm an idiot. It is a high rye bourbon, but I did not remember.
C's got my favorite nose, I think, so far. Every time I think it's banana, it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, though, tasting notes, I feel like if that's what you're getting off that nose,
Yeah.
it might
That's
not
what
be
you're
an
getting.
objective thing in
Your
terms
nose
of
has
everyone's
gone
going
through
to get
hell.
that.
Yeah.
But if
You
you
smell
are
things
getting
differently.
that, who's to tell you that's not what your
Sure.
like body is actually thinking that's what you got? Like that's so much of taste in general, not even just with whiskey, is so subjective. Like I think that it can get a lot of like very gatekeepy in bourbon.
Absolutely.
And
I
whiskey
mean,
in
that's
general.
true about any like subculture.
Anything that's like has a like big group around
Yeah.
it, like, and there is subjectivity to it. I'm sure shoes, there's a lot of people that,
Anything that has a subreddit, basically.
yeah, basically, which we've talked about before. Very funny. The subreddit for bourbon is not very gatekeepy.
Right. But the subreddit for whiskey is.
Yes. Yeah. So all that to say, whatever you think you're tasting, like you should feel free to like say
You're
that and
tasting
enjoy
it,
it.
yeah.
And you are tasting that or smelling that
Yeah,
in
there's
it.
no wrong answer.
And a lot of it too is not like the exact taste. It's this reminds me of this.
Sure.
Like if you say it reminds you of banana custard, like
Right.
it doesn't actually smell or
What if
taste
it
like
reminds
banana
me-
custard probably, but because it's whiskey, it's going to taste like whiskey.
Right.
But if it's bringing that to you, like you're going to have a different experience than someone that gets cinnamon forward on that one kind of
Sure.
thing. Like they're going to be thinking cinnamon, it's going to taste more cinnamony because that's where their like palate is focusing in on.
Yeah. What if it reminds me of like a really traumatic experience in my life?
I'd say,
Can I say that?
don't drink that whiskey anymore.
Can
It's probably not
can
a
I,
good whiskey
I just
to
have to
drink.
like shout out what the incident was? Like, is that what you're saying? Say whatever it reminds you of?
I would suggest going to therapy.
Okay. I'm going to talk to my therapist.
I think I would. The
Therapist.
only thing I think I would be qualified to say is maybe don't drink that whiskey again.
Don't drink it.
If
Yeah,
it's-
triggering.
It's triggering
We
you.
need Dr. Mike Hutchings, specializing in PTSD treatment. And
Yeah, it doesn't give you PTSD.
he doesn't. He's not handing out PTSD. Although, well,
That wouldn't be cool.
that would not be cool. I seem to be gravitating more towards higher proof stuff recently anyway.
I'm the same way, and none of these would be what most people would consider high proof. If you're
Right.
used to drinking like 80 proof Jack, then these might be high proof to you. But for most people that are in the whiskey scene drinking barrel proofs, like these are going to be considered fairly low proof.
All right, I'm going to run through this again quickly. A's just fine. I think it's got a decent finish. You said caramel. I picked up on that because you said it. You put it in my head. B, I thought it was lower proof than the first one last time. So I feel like they had a completely different experience the second time around with B. It's like has that drying effect in my mouth, which is typical of. It's like typical of rye, though, isn't that?
I
Or
don't
not?
actually know if it's like a specific grain or if it's more age or or what.
Well, whatever it is.
There's probably a multitude of factors that go into it.
Got it.
But
You know, honestly, I think it might be C because. Let me just drink this.
yeah, you said you thought this one was C.
Well, I thought
Or
it could
this
be. I
one
thought it
was
could be
C was
sure CYPB.
CYPB.
Oh, you know what they are, so I'm not going to ask you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know what these are. I guess my question for you would be,
I think it's
first
down
off-
to B and C as far as what I like the most.
okay,
I feel like A is something that's like a Buffalo Trace or Eagle Rare. I feel like it's more Buffalo Trace, like something that is I could daily drink. It's like a solid bourbon, but it's something. It just doesn't feel like it's the $600 resale bottle. I don't know, between B and C.
what do you feel on B? Because you said A,
Well,
you
I
felt
think the
like Buffalo Trace product.
Sure.
Daily
Well,
drinker.
I don't know. If I should have said Buffalo Trace product, but I don't know. I think it's down to I'm assuming that it's going to be, it has to be the one that I like. That has to be true. It doesn't have to be, but I want it to be.
Yeah, you
like, I don't want to say, I don't want to say that I hate this.
a $600 secondary bottle.
Yeah, so I'm nervous. I think I like B most, and then it's going to be either, now I'm not sure. I think B is my favorite, A and then C, or B and C and then A. D's definitely in last place for me.
Okay.
And I pray to God that it's not the sought after bottle.
So final order.
Yeah.
B number 1, D last. Which one's second? Which one's third?
Yeah, I think C is second place.
Okay. So B, C, A, D for you.
Yep. That's the rating. And like I said, they all feel in that range, 90 to 95 or 100 maybe, but definitely not higher than that.
Yeah, and that is the range. I'll let you know that now.
Yeah.
Like, that's the range I stuck it in. I think it is between 90 and 95, if I remember correctly. So you're right in there.
Yep.
You wanna flip it over?
Let's see the reveal.
Do it together.
Okay.
So you went with Blanton's as number 1.
Yep.
Which reasonable. It's actually a higher price MSRP than Weller CYPB.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's about $70 or $80 for a bottle of that.
I didn't even
retail.
consider that it could that A could have been special reserve.
Yeah, I put Weller Special Reserve as A, so that was
man,
your
I
third
wish I would have
place.
shat all over that because everyone loves that.
Weller CYPB, second place for you.
Second place.
That was C.
Yeah,
and
the
then
thing
Eagle
is,
Rare as last place for you.
interesting.
So Eagle Rare 90 proof.
Well, no,
Weller Special Reserve 90 proof. Blanton's 93.
Now that I know what they are, I would
CYPB.
say, D and A, who knows? Maybe I said D was third, but
we have it recorded. We have the
I feel
footage.
good about it.
No, and a big thing about this that I personally had never tried CYPB either, so I wasn't for sure, but everything about it that I knew, both from like the mash bill's the same as other Wellers, it's only aged 8 years, it's only 95 proof.
Yeah.
The only like differentiation they really gave it, besides it being 5 points higher than Weller Special Reserve, was it's aged in the highest floor of the rick house.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I don't really know if that really matters that much when then you're bringing the proof down to 95 regardless.
Right.
I think a lot of people would think, from what I've heard, that the higher in the rick house it is, usually the higher proof it ends up. So with barrel proofs, a lot of times people go for the like highest floor in the rick house because that's going to be the highest proof one. So sometimes it can create some, I don't know, some kind of science stuff that I don't understand.
Just, altitude.
But yeah, I don't really understand. Bourbon has to go in at 125 proof or lower, like entry proof into the barrel. But as you know, there's bourbons that you have that are 133 proof. So it's like, how does it go up 8 proof
138
points?
stag.
Yeah, like how does it go up 13 proof points? Well, you wouldn't think it could because the evaporation temperature, like the evaporation point for like ethanol, is lower than that of water. So like from a base level, it doesn't seem like that's possible. But I guess when you talk about the size of the molecules and stuff, some of them can get out of the barrel easier. Yeah. It's confusing to me. I don't understand all the science, but yeah, that would be the only reason why you would think Weller, like it matters that it's aged on the high floors. It could be higher proof than a bunch of other stuff they have. You gotta just pay me and I'll like just shadow you.
But how do I make you like my assistant where
Pay me some of that
when I
Perkfitt
say
money.
your name, you just sort of appear like,
There's text messages.
okay, that's
phone
true.
calls.
That's true. We don't do phone calls, do we?
I don't. I wouldn't answer.
We have a boss that calls us,
All the
and
time. Not as much me anymore.
he's not that much older than us, but he he's like
a boomer in relation to our
yeah.
connection with technology and his connection with technology.
So he just calls us all the time, and I said, please don't just text me.
And then he leaves you voice messages.
Yep, which I cannot
Not
stand.
voicemail, the voice message
memos.
through like,
Chat, text.
iMessage. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's on my personal Instagram profile. You're very careful about what you put in your profile. You can only put so much. and I put stop sending voice memos. That's what I'm broadcasting to the world. Like, please
That's
stop.
the message you want to. That's the change in the world you want to see.
My boss's assistant will send them to me. My contact at the company that I use for my online coaching, she sends them to me. She knows that I cannot stand them. She sends them to me, and I have to listen to them. The thing is, like, don't send me like a 3-minute long voice memo. The screen goes black. You can't scrub through it.
Yeah, the screen goes black, and then you have to
You
play
have
it
to
from
start
the beginning.
over. It's just like you just like hear the same thing over and over again, and that's my issue with it. So I think we need the world to just know that. What were we talking about prior to this?
Basically, the Weller CYPB is probably not worth $600. I would say.
Yeah,
Taste wise, like I'd give it probably a 7. Like it's good.
Yeah,
I
they're
enjoy
all
it.
like 7,
I
maybe
like
7.5.
Yeah, I think
at
you'd go
max.
from 6 to 7.5 would kind of be like the age, or not the age range, the scoring range.
Everybody's like,
these would be put in.
People go crazy over Special Reserve or what, just because it's a Weller product.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
that's
hard
just
to
annoying
find,
to me.
and it's a easy to drink wheat at bourbon mash bill, or wheat at mash bill bourbon.
Yeah.
It's solid. Like, don't get me wrong. Like that's something that like I would mix with if I could
Right.
find it on
Yeah,
a
it's
regular
not
basis, because
like
it should be like a $25 bottle,
Sure.
and people generally pay 50 or more for it.
What's crazy is when I started, I was like, oh, I like rye. Because I was like, I had a rye or something. I was like, I'm a rye guy, and I decided that's what I was. And then it didn't take long for me to realize I'm not a rye guy. I'm like more of a bourbon. I enjoy like the sweetness and a lot of the tasting notes and noses on bourbons. I just enjoy them more. Definitely, I figured that out. But when I first started, I was like, ooh, everyone just is like loves higher proof just because it's like higher proof. And I was like, no, that's not me. Like that, I don't think that I would ever get to that spot where I'd be like, oh, it's better because it's higher proof. But now I'm like, find myself drinking my favorite bourbons, and they're all higher proof.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something about higher proof that makes it better, at least to me.
Yeah, and I think it all depends on personal preference, 1, and 2, the best barrel proof stuff, like high proof stuff we have, are things that are like Elijah Craig barrel proof. That's aged 12 years.
Right.
If you get a young barrel proof,
yeah,
generally it's worse than the like 100 proof like counterpart to it,
right?
Potentially, like sometimes lower proof is beneficial when it's young and it has like a little bit of that youthy like grain flavor. Yeah. I don't like when you call it underage. But once you get into the 6-7+ year old bourbons, I almost always would take a higher proof version.
Okay, I don't remember what you were saying. With the camera died, or the battery died, it overheated, so I put it in the fridge, and we're back now. What? I don't remember what you were saying. But
I think the main takeaway for me personally from the tasting was Weller CYPB or Weller White Label, whatever you want to call it. It's not worth $600 on the secondary.
Definitely not.
Unless you're just buying it because you want to have a hype bottle on your bar cart.
Sure, which would make you a tater, which means a tater is a...
Honestly, I've recently discovered that potentially that comes from the Johnny Knoxville movie where he does like the Special Olympics.
Oh, really?
And it's evolved from then. I don't know the evolutionary path. I don't know if that means you're saying like another version of the Arsler when you call people that.
Yeah, we can't do that because Matt Damon, he retired the Arsler.
That was the F
Oh, that was the
slur,
F slur.
I believe.
Has no one taken it upon themselves to retire
We
the
will
Arsler?
retire the Arsler right
Tonight
now.
we're retiring the Arsler. If you don't know what it is, you do know what it is. You're lying. And we've officially retired it. And Matt Damon, I don't know if you know this, I told my dad this when I was home hunting, he and all of his friends, that Matt Damon retired the F slur. So you can't say it anymore. He's retired it.
He's the authority on this.
He hasn't buried it, but like if it's retired, is it, you know what I mean? Is there another step or?
I think it's just like, oh, hey, it had a career, it's done now.
Done. Yeah, okay.
We don't need to
objectively,
go murder it.
You shouldn't say it.
But don't say it.
But that was news to my...
I mean, there's going to be like wordings of it on like signs where it means like slow, genuinely, like that's the actual dictionary definition.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about a different word
like
than the one
Arsler your brakes.
Sure. Arsler your brakes. you could still say that.
I don't think you should say it, but I'm just saying you're going to see it on signs.
Yeah, but you could say it, and it wouldn't be an issue.
I'm not going to say it right now.
Nah, yeah, well, I know I'm not going to say it either, certainly. But you could say it, and it wouldn't be an issue. I don't know how we ended up on that topic, but
Taters,
right?
Potentially being
so a tater is someone who just is chasing after the high value targets.
Yeah,
the impossible to get.
BTAC, Pappy, and they don't really know whiskey well. They're, for the most part, just going after hype bottles because they're hyped.
Yeah, that's it.
And they're like, oh, it's so good, it's the best bottle I've ever had. Or more likely, they're just buying it.
It's the best bottle. That was not Trump. Who was that?
I don't know. But yeah, I think that there's certain bottles, like, I'm happy I was able to pick up this bottle for $50 because I got lucky.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And
nobody could do that. I mean, it's really hard to do that.
Yeah, but that's honestly the only circumstances, or under $100.
But that was
if you're
from
just
a raffle.
So curious.
Right?
Yeah, I bought a single barrel at a place. They put me into a raffle.
Yep.
They said, "Hey, you won the raffle." I said, "All right, I'll come."
Fantastic.
Pick a random bottle.
Thank
I got
you so
picked a
much.
bottle out of a.
You picked a name of
It was
a bottle.
actually-
You didn't
yeah.
actually pick a
Yeah,
bottle.
the bottle
out of a
was
hat. That would have
the
been
bottle.
a magic trick.
That would have been a
That
magic
would
trick.
have been insane.
If they had fucking 50 bottles in there. Oh!
Yeah, it's like Santa's bag. You pull out what you deserve.
No,
It's CYPB. It's not. It's good.
It's solid.
It's solid for sure.
But I would say, like,
I'd like to have it on my thing because sometimes I feel like a tater.
I was gonna say I'm kind of excited that I finally have kind of like a hype bottle, because most of my collection or bar or whatever you're gonna call it, I wouldn't really call it a collection. So I'm drinking them. Like, there's not really a single bottle I have down there that's not
A temporary collection.
Yeah, it's a temporary collection. It's
Yeah.
something that it's an ever changing collection.
Absolutely. The best collections, the ones that won't live forever,
Yeah, and that's
Like us.
definitely true.
and that's a fitness.
And that's why
aspect.
you drink your bottles. You don't leave them sealed. There's
That's
no
why
reason.
you drink them. You drink so much alcohol that you die early.
You die from liver failure.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
We're not advocating for that. And in fact, if you are struggling with alcohol abuse, here's a number, a hotline, or an email. Not an email, maybe an email, but
I don't know
definitely a
if they have an
website. We'll throw up there.
Yeah, like alcohol abuse is a real thing, and I think that if you struggle with alcohol, don't get into whiskey. Like,
Yeah,
don't
maybe
be like,
not.
oh, I can do this. Like, if not having whiskey or
Talk to your
alcohol in
psychiatrist.
general, yeah, that's a big theme is mental health in this episode.
Mental health. I was talking
Go
about
see
it
a
today.
therapist.
Go see someone. All right, we're gonna move on from the whiskey portion of the episode. This is where the fitness people are gonna join us. They're gonna pick up here. If you're a whiskey person, you can either carry on. If you like whiskey and fitness, you can carry on with us into this next portion, or you can leave. But I prefer that you stay, or we prefer that you'd stay. But we're gonna do a special segment.
You
Aren't
need to
we?
come up with a big like theme for it.
Okay, but let's
Have a
just
big logo
brainstorm
that
on a
comes
name
up.
really quickly.
Corey reacts.
Corey Reacts. Perkfitt Reacts.
Perkfitt Reacts.
So I've got a bunch of comments.
So Matt's gathered comments. They're comments that people have commented.
Yeah,
on,
me and Missy scrolled through some.
Oh, incredible.
old
Missy,
posts.
who's Missy?
My girlfriend Missy.
Girlfriend
You
Missy.
probably don't know her.
You definitely
But
don't
you
know her.
should. The first one I have, somebody said, someone get this man in the spotlight for aesthetic pictures.
Someone get this man in the spotlight for some aesthetic pictures.
Yes. I feel like maybe they want you to model.
Does that mean I'm not in the spotlight and they're not aesthetic?
I don't know.
photos?
This is for you to decide.
Somebody get this man
In the spotlight.
in the spotlight.
Does he want more light on you? Does he think it's too dark?
Could be too dark. It could be that just he doesn't like my photos, and that's the nicest
Yeah.
way you could say that.
Maybe.
You need better lighting, and
Your pictures suck. You need to get in the spotlight for this. So the second comment, also with 2 likes, just says wide body, salute, and a flex.
muscle arm,
Yeah,
wide
muscle arm.
body.
Wide body.
Damn, that could be. I mean, obviously, look at me. That's not a
I mean, maybe
diss.
they're. Yeah, I'm saying maybe in proportion
Yeah, it's
to
a
like
great-
your height. Like,
sure.
oh, like he's got some.
Well,
width
I
to
don't
him.
know if that's great either. When I was playing football in college, I got up to like 210 pounds, 205 pounds.
That's like significantly heavier than I think I feel like I've ever seen you.
Yeah, I mean, I think
like
probably the heaviest I've been is like
190.
just over 190.
The highest I've seen you.
And that's because my.
Also, is that weird that I know that about you?
I mean, I don't know if you feel like a great friend for knowing that. But when I was that weight at that height, I looked kind of crazy, like not proportional. I looked like
you were a professional athlete.
I had something wrong with me. You know what I mean? Like big legs, like, I'm 5'9". I'm not tall. So, 210, I was a big boy, but I was fast too.
Mm-hmm.
But,
powerful.
Yeah. Anyway, what a great comment. It took me back to my football days.
The next one, it's 2 cats screaming emojis and 2 like, yeah, let's
Hands
go.
up.
Hands up.
What do you think that means?
They're scared, but then like, you're good job. Keep going.
Like it was scary. The beginning was scary. And
Yeah.
now we're like, oh, it was great.
They were very scared.
Did I respond to that one? No.
Nope. No response on that
two cats and 2 hands. I'd probably just, well, here's what I do. If someone comments an emoji, I respond with an emoji or some sort of combination of emojis. And until I get to the point where I've responded to so many comments that I'm just like, I don't care anymore about anything. And then I just go blind firing. And I don't know if we'll see some of those, but.
I think there's some.
Okay.
This one, I would say very nice comment. They said, full targeted workout with in-depth explanations and rep ranges for free?
For free?
For free.
Wow. I would say they could join my team. They could become a marketer for Perkfitt, or like they could go around commenting on every person's post that they see. This is how I lost 25 pounds in 4 months with the help of Perkfitt. You know what I mean? Like he could become a spam.
In the best shape of my life.
He's going to evangelize for Perkfitt. I really appreciate. Did I respond to that one?
I don't think you did.
Damn, I need to go. I'm going to go respond to that because that's really nice.
It was.
Thank you.
Man's got Megan the Stallion knees.
Okay, so I had to look up what this meant.
I don't know what it means.
So
I'm just assuming she's got strong knees.
Sure. Well, I thought I don't even know what Megan the Stallion looks like, but I figured if she's a stallion, she's built and she's got some knees.
She does a lot of twerking.
Maybe it's a lot.
Has to have strong
yeah, but
knees.
I don't know if I knew that.
That's fair.
So I was like initially I was like, oh, you've got wide knees. It feels like they're coming at me, and I was like offended at first, and then I looked it up, and it was like basically a compliment about how, man, you can move with you. You can move. You know what I mean? Like you could twerk. I could twerk.
Megan the Stallion, very talented performer.
Yeah, so that's definitely a compliment.
Yeah.
I think I responded to that.
I didn't see one, but it might just not have been in the screenshot.
Sure, I think I did respond to that actually.
That was one Missy got for me. This one you did respond to. Somebody said, hard the wrists.
Hard the wrists.
Hard the wrists. Do you remember what you commented?
I don't know.
You said, are you commanding a wrist hard on?
The guy's out there like Harry Potter commanding hard on.
It sounds like it's spelling in Harry Potter. Hard the wrists.
He tried to put a spell on me. That's I was like, no, dude.
Give you a wrist hard on.
He never answered that either.
He didn't. That's true.
We'll never know.
That was 5 weeks ago. It's gone.
That's hilarious.
It's gone.
They're gone.
Reese Pieces. They're gone.
I'll read that one later if we have time. That's a long one. Somebody, I'll let you put it on the screen. Somebody commented in Korean. So obviously I couldn't read it without Google Translate or clicking the C translation.
Yep.
And then when I clicked it, it said, mind spirit, mind psycho.
Mind spirit, mind psycho.
And I feel like that's just a bad translation.
It's probably bad.
But it also translated in all caps, which makes it funnier to me.
Right.
It looks like someone said mind spirit, mind psycho with no punctuation at all in all caps.
But what does mind spirit mean? Mind and spirit, they're two completely different things.
I think they're
saying you've got it all. You've got mind, you've got spirit, and you're a psychopath.
I guess so.
I think I'll take that as a compliment. Did I respond to it?
You did not.
Yeah, because it was in Korean.
This one, somebody said, "Ooh, my man looking shredded," and you said, "Thanks, man."
I don't know what to say half the time when it's like homoerotic. I'm like, I don't want to sound homophobic, but I certainly don't want to sound gay.
Well, you have a wife.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
married.
Sure.
If you were into guys, it'd probably be a little
It would be
uncomfortable
easier.
to.
Like our mayor, it would be easy to comment on their post and say,
Lieutenant Governor, but
Lieutenant
yes.
Governor. Oh, that's cool.
We might have to cut that.
Who's the Toronto mayor? Who's the guy that was doing cocaine? And
I think he's dead.
but who is he? What is his deal?
I don't
What's
remember
his name?
his name.
Fuck, I gotta cut this whole
Rob
thing.
Ford, maybe.
Holy shit, dude, that's his name.
If that's his name,
I don't know his name. It's Rob Ford, 100%. I think it is.
If that's true, like I don't know how I pulled that out of the.
That is
recesses
the
of my
I
brain.
would say the wildest
It's up there.
mayor of anywhere, which makes Drake look kind of badass.
Drake's never gonna look badass.
Matt, you can't say that.
I
He
can't.
literally has
Come
someone-
at me, Drake fans.
please, Matt. He had someone murdered. He might.
Oh, they're gonna come murder.
You gonna kill me in my
Murder me.
sleep?
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No.
No, man.
All right, read me another one.
Shredded as hell, and those tats look sick, brother. You said appreciate it.
I do appreciate it, and I don't know. There's only so many ways you can say thank you. It's I appreciate it, thank you. That's about it. I don't know. I don't have anything else. Thanks, man. Thanks, bro. Thanks.
Those are just versions of thanks, though.
I know, but they're variations.
Somebody, this one, you're gonna need to put it on the screen for people to fully appreciate it.
All right.
They put eyeball emoji, tongue licking emoji, eyeball emoji, and then said yum,
Yum.
yum.
Yeah. See, I certainly didn't respond to that because I don't know if I know how to respond to that.
You didn't, I don't believe.
Yeah.
Somebody, and they put this in quotes, so I don't know if this is a quote that's like in the fitness community or a piece of media I'm not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
They
A
said,
meme.
should I take a dump now or after the workout?
Should I take a dump now?
Or after the workout?
A dump?
A dump.
You should take it now. If is that a real question?
I don't. It's in
It's
quotes.
just like
that's why I
in
don't
quotes.
know if it's like a piece of media.
It has to
or
be a meme
or something that
Yeah,
I don't
we
know.
don't understand. I don't know it either.
But I figured you would know more than me because I'm not in the workout community. So
Sure.
the fitness community.
But if they were quoting themselves, certainly you should take it before.
this person, kind of along the lines of what you've been talking about, they have Femboy in their username,
Oh.
and it says, "Just crack my head between those legs, I'll be happy." This is probably the thirstiest comment you
I think that's
had
the
on
thirstiest
your
comment I've ever heard.
on your the ones that I saw, at least when I was digging through comments for a little bit to
Yeah.
have some content for this.
Yeah, I probably didn't respond to that.
You didn't. There is one like on that though, so who knows? Maybe that was you.
I don't think I liked it, but maybe in my indecision to be able to respond, I just liked it.
Somebody said, "Pa bull, gar ion splits squits hurt oh so much."
Oh, dude, can you read it again? Can you read it again for the people? I don't know how you got through that.
I don't know if I'll be able to get through a second
You
time.
got
I had
it.
to work
Come
real hard
on.
to do that the first time. Pa bull, gar ion splits squits hurt oh so much.
Oh, I think I'm gonna just type that into like an AI image generator to see if it can help us maybe figure out what the hell they're talking about. That's unbelievable. That's my favorite comment I've ever had. I'm sure I didn't even see that because I would have probably taken a screenshot or something.
It's pretty good. It's maybe one of my favorites. That's also a Missy found one.
That's incredible.
This person, they have a cat for a profile picture. That's important for later.
Okay.
They said, "That bent over thing made me pull a muscle. LMAO. Thanks." And then you replied and said, "It's not recommended for cats."
Oh my God.
And they replied and said, "I guess so."
I guess so.
Which makes me think
isn't
maybe they
even-
are a cat.
Which isn't even an appropriate response. That sounds like a cat responding. Okay, so they had a cat in their profile. They said
It's a cat profile picture. They said they did a movement that you
told them to
had
do.
in your video. You didn't even tell them to. Like you just
they
said,
did
this
it.
is what I have that I do.
And they did
They
it.
can choose to do it or not. And they said, I pulled a muscle doing this, basically.
And then laugh my effing ass off.
Not effing, just
Oh, I
laughing
just
their
laugh
ass
my
off.
ass off.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks.
So it feels
You
like
got
they're
me injured.
blaming you
Yeah.
for pulling a muscle, saying, this is your fault. I want you to take responsibility.
Right, which is probably why I said
And you told them it's not recommended for cats. And
Yeah.
they said, I guess so.
I got him. Good. You know, whenever I see someone on any social media platform and their profile picture is not a picture of themselves, it's like you're
You're a fraud.
You're either a meme account or a complete fraud. I can't trust a thing that you say because you might be powered by Chat GPT or something.
Yeah, I'll just do rapid fire real quick. Somebody said, and this one's pretty impressive. They made like a whole thing out of like stuff. They said, we go gym,
I've seen that one.
but it's JIM. I don't know if that's another
It's
meme
like a
that I don't
copy pasta
understand. It's pretty great though.
With like Unicode to make an image, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
beautiful. Let's
I
throw
love
it
it.
up. It's cool. I don't know if I respond.
somebody said dumpy, 2 prayer hands.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Somebody said so gay with some fingernails being painted.
Oh yeah, I posted a workout when I had my fingernails painted.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. So they
And,
think you're gay because you had fingernails painted.
Yeah, there was
That's
a lot. I got a
very
lot of comments about that on
bigoted.
that post, which
Pretty lame of them.
yeah, I mean it feels just like an insecurity bubbling up, but it's also kind of gay. I don't know.
Who's to
Is
say?
it? I don't know.
Somebody said, this last one, wow, I thought you were an animation, but you're human. I clicked the bell. Thank you for this awesome back routine.
They thought I was animation.
They thought you were an animation. Kind of sounds like an AI generated comment, but it also
Hey, damn, I'm AI. I'm really into like
you're
animation.
you're also AI and they're AI. I think
Animation
it's
is like
AI trying to reach out to you.
AI. Animation is like porn to AI because it's like they're both, on the same level. They're not real. They're not real people, but they look like real people and sound like real people.
I don't know where this is going.
We've gone off the rails completely. I don't think we've talked about anything fitness related other than, hey, Corey, how can you drink whiskey? I thought you were fit and healthy. I am, obviously. And I just make room for these calories in my macros. So I know that, 150, 200 calories that's like an ounce and a half is like,
Is it really 250 calories for an ounce?
I think maybe that's 2.5 ounces. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
That's a lot more than I thought.
however many it is, I will take that into account and put it in my macros. And, it's just empty calories. I'm not getting any nutritional
And
value.
it's still way less calories than you're going to have in a cocktail or
Exactly,
something
or
with
a
a mixer
beer.
or
Yeah.
a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly. So all of those things combined, I'm not getting any nutritional value out of it, but I'm getting some tasty value out of it,
Yeah.
which is you got to live your life still. And
I guess that's an important fitness thing. Like if there's
Absolutely.
certain things you enjoy that you don't want to give up completely, like leave a little room
I mean,
for
I mean,
that.
if it's a lifestyle for you, if you're just going to do it for like 12 weeks and just lose a bunch of weight, maybe you should skip
maybe,
it for that
maybe
term.
give that up. Yeah.
But, if it's a lifestyle, you really like for sustainability, you have to concede some things so you can not lose your mind
Yeah.
because you've just been eating ground turkey and ketchup or ground turkey and salsa. You've ate that for 6 months and you didn't eat another meal for anything else. And you just don't want to go on anymore.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable.
I've heard the like saying, and again, as a non-workout person, I've heard the saying like the most sustainable diet is the one you can stick to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that seems pretty legitimate to
Yeah.
me based on my relationship with you over the past decade plus of like you cut out most of like the stuff that's bad for you on a very regular basis, but you have times for Christmas, like,
Yeah.
like I'm going to eat some cookies over
I'm
Christmas
gonna
season.
not some. I'm gonna eat My wife makes no-bake cookies just constantly during Christmas, and her mom does too. And I tell you what, I am pretty good about, quantity control and portion control. But when it comes to those things, I'll climb Mount Everest if I have to, just to eat like this whole thing of no-bake cookies. And I'm working on my relationship with food still, even now. So yeah, nobody's perfect.
But I do think that's an important part to know.
Yeah, for sure.
That, like, even the people that are doing this as a profession, that you can say like, yeah, like I drink whiskey. I have times in the year where it's around holidays where I eat a little more calories than I generally do.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, do what's sustainable, and you'll be able to stick to that a lot easier than cutting all of that off for theoretically ever. But realistically, You're not going to be able to do that probably unless you have the craziest self-control.
Yeah, unless you're David Goggins. Unless you're David Goggins, you just ran 150 miles. What? David Goggins posted this video on TikTok. He was just going crazy. He was just screaming. I was like, what's going on? And he was like, somebody's out there on LinkedIn impersonating me. And he was so angry. He was just like, he was raging about it. And I was like, this feels like an overreaction. But this guy, everything he does is intense. So, maybe that's just how he responds to everything. Can you imagine? It's like, David, you want something for dinner? And he just loses his mind that's just his response to everything. I just imagine that's how David Goggins is. But I commented on it. It's like from his TikTok, and it's him, and he's calling out someone who's impersonating him. And I commented in all caps, I am David Goggins. and it's like one of my most liked comments of all time on TikTok, which is unfortunate because now it's coming down where it's getting banned.
TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok's about to get banned.
Oh, yeah, Congress. Hearing about it. Can it access your Wi-Fi?
Does it have a phone number? Does it know how to operate a rotary phone? Like, what the hell are you talking about? And TikTok already took the hearing and made a meme out of it, and like a viral TikTok template out of that. I'm like, this is the most meta thing that's ever happened. Anyway, we didn't touch on a ton of fitness stuff, but we'll cut the whiskey portion, and I'll just post that as just a whiskey video. But it's been another Perkfitt podcast. Technically, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Obviously, if you're not super into bourbon, you probably didn't, or maybe you just skipped that part and caught the Corey Reacts segment, followed by a little bit of advice. I guess I'll have my wife back next time. Thank you for joining me.
I'm the new co-host.
You're not the new co-host. I think my wife would have something to say about that.
Let the people get what they want. It's me.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if my wife was like, he can be the co-host.
Done with the podcasting grind.
I mean, she's been crushing it, and everyone loves her reaction to things, which is just her general reaction to things that happen in life, which is one of my favorite things about her. I just constantly laugh because she's so funny. And she just destroys me. And no one else is allowed to do that. And so she can do it, and she does it really well, and I laugh at it. I miss her. And my daughter right now. They've been gone for too long. But this was fun. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's my first podcast.
We work together. We actually create a different separate podcast for the organization, the nonprofit that we work for, called Iris Global. It's called The Green Room. And I'm not saying you should watch it, but you could, because it's done well. I mean, we did it well, So we've been podcasting. This is not new to us. The only thing that's new is we're not behind the cameras. We're here. And there's no one behind the camera.
We're behind the camera and in front of the camera.
Has our job just become obsolete? Oh, no.
We've shown them that you don't need us.
Oh, no. All right. We'll see you on the next one.
This is a podcast for people who do gym stuff, and others
do gym stuff too.